Hello everyone, this is Robert from Book of Mormon Editions, where we discuss printings, publications, and various editions of the Book of Mormon. So I'm excited to review this next edition of the Book of Mormon, as this has so much historical significance for church history. This is the 1874 printing of the Book of Mormon, published by the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So where do I begin? There is so much to tell you, and you probably can hear that I'm really excited to review this printing. So some background on this is that the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was officially created in April of 1860, when Joseph Smith III, the son of Joseph Smith, was sustained as leader for this newly reorganized group. Prior to this, the followers of the Restoration who had not traveled west with the Salt Lake pioneers stayed in the Nauvoo and surrounding areas and were loosely organized. They had use of the 1840 Nauvoo edition of the Book of Mormon and also used an 1858 reprint of this 1840 edition. However, with this reorganized church, there was a need for a printing of the Book of Mormon, and it took them until 1874 to print their first official edition. So this 1874 edition is the first printing for the RLDS church. However, there are some caveats as to what made an 1874 edition. It seems that there are ultimately two 1874 formatted printings. The first was a printing of that year, published for the church and listed a location of Plano, Illinois. This Plano edition was truly the first edition printed in 1874. This Plano edition is rare and has become a book collector's prize over time. After that, the RLDS Church continued to print this exact format, but listed a new location of Lamonai, Iowa. This printing continued through the 1890s, but the cover page still listed it as 1874. So it's hard to say exactly when this was printed. However, these are all lumped into being called the 1874 Lamonai printing for the RLDS Church. The cover was a brown leather cover with gilded spine with some decorations. Often, because of use, the spine can become deteriorated. It measures about 6.5 inches high and about 4 inches wide, so pretty small even compared to an 1830 or modern-day editions of the Book of Mormon. After the title page is the title introduction, followed by the testimony of the witnesses. Afterwards comes a very lengthy index going through each page of the text and what is contained therein. So the text of the Book of Mormon was copied from the 1840 Nauvoo edition. It is true to the chapter breaks that matches the 1840 and 1830 editions. What's interesting is that the 1840 and 1830 edition had very little paragraph indentations, and the 1874 RLDS format has a unique set of paragraphs and versing. This series of versing are specific to this format, as the RLDS Church overhauled their text in 1908, which included new versing breaks. The text is really small and ends on page 545 with no indexing in the back. So while this edition is not the very first printing, it's still valid to call this the 1874 format printing of the Book of Mormon for the RLDS Church. I'm really happy that I had a chance to see this edition and review it here, as it's played a pivotal role in the Book of Mormon printing for the RLDS community, and now called the Community of Christ. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Please feel free to review my other videos, and I'll look forward to posting more content as time continues. If you have a specific or unique edition of the Book of Mormon that you'd like reviewed on this series, please contact me at bomeditions@gmail.com. Thanks everyone.